Good morning, successful agers. You feel that you're aging successfully this morning? How are you? Did you sleep well? I never sleep well. Now, some of you have told me in the group here that you're also having problems sleeping. I think one of the reasons is we need more exercise, so we need to move as much as possible. And I hope that, let's just turn that off for a moment. I just hope that this is helping you to move more. And also, I'm aiming to create I've got the microphone on. I'm aiming to create awareness of the different muscle groups and how to work them, and make sure that you are working those muscles on a regular basis. Yes, for many, many reasons, just to maintain muscle balance in the body. And I've started early. Get me on live and I'm off. All right, do pop in the comments if you're joining me this lunchtime, 12:30. Did you do the workout this morning? Yeah, did you get that salsa move? Yeah, it was the Mamba, 2 Mambas on a trot. It's out of timing, it's out of phrasing with the music. So that's why I find it so difficult. Right, here we go. Anita Dawn, actually. Lobben, it's such a heavy name. Anita Dawn from Cell Pilates, and we are looking at the inner thighs today. And people think, oh yeah, I want to get rid of that flab on the inner thighs. Yeah. It's not possible to spot reduce and just burn fat off in one area. So there's various reasons why we might have flabby thighs. And we need to be doing just regular strength training just to keep all the muscles strong, particularly the inner thigh muscles. Sometimes we don't work them effectively, but also watching what you eat, that you have a nutritious diet and you're not eating a lot of junk food. Okay, so we're going to warm up a little bit, but today what I'm going to do is a couple of exercises, show you a couple of exercises, and then we're going to stretch straight afterwards. Yeah, it's really, it is important that you do work those inner thighs in a very functional way. A lot of classes these days are, no one there. A lot of classes these days are just for a workout per se. And I think as we get older, we need to think that it's more functional and going to benefit us going forward. Yeah, tomorrow, next week, next year. So that's definitely where I come from. Yeah, so everything is functional. If we work a muscle in a small range, it's not going to be functional. For example, with the bicep, yes, if I just train it halfway, it's only going to be strong in that certain amount of range. Yeah, so I need to work it through the full range of the muscle, and that applies to all the muscles, and we're going to look at that in the inner thighs as well. So we're going to warm up, and definitely need to warm up on a day like this. So I'm going to get some music. We're just going to do about a minute warm up, and then I think it's good to wear shoes. Yeah, when you're not doing Pilates or balance, gives you more stability and you can focus more on what you're doing. I'm going to step touch right left. Get rid of the arms. I'm going to go straight into 2 steps, right and left. So here we are warming up the inner and outer thighs. So this is a functional warm up to what we're going to do today. Let's add the arms. Get those shoulders moving a little bit. And using the arms helps to increase the heart rate, warms up the body, the core temperature, and makes the muscles more acceptable to work. Less risk of injury in the joints. Slow steps. Here we go. 2 steps to the right and back. Awesome. 2 more times. Beautiful. I'm going to stay here, march it out. So now we're going to go into some of the strength training exercises, and it's going to be standing. This week has been mostly standing. Next week we're going to look at exercises on the floor which aren't quite as functional. So let's see if we can take those legs wider than the normal squat. Yeah, you might need to modify, but then you're not going to get those inner thigh muscles so effectively. So plie squat, we see if we can bring our body upright, press the knees open, and the knees are tracking over the toes. Let's go slowly down, 2 counts down, and 2 counts up. So you want to make sure the knees don't go past the toe. Let's have a little bit less frantic music there, and up. Good. So we don't want to be doing this here. Puts unnecessary stress on the knees. All right, so you might want to take your legs a little bit wider, or don't go down so low. So exercise and working muscles is very much a question of focus. So what I want you to do here is lower down, press the knees open, and as you come up, you're going to draw those inner thighs together and imagine you're zipping all the way up through the spine. Yeah, so inhale down, exhale, pull in. Imagine you're pulling your feet in towards the midline. So you really, really feel those inner thigh muscles. Now don't overdo it if you're not used to doing this. Yeah, but as soon as if you're leaning forward here, it's not going to work for you. So see if you can do maybe just a little bit of a turn out there, pressing the knees open and pulling those heels in towards the midline. So perhaps if you're not able to do this position, then maybe this particular exercise for the inner thighs is not the best one for you to do, not appropriate. Yeah, so inhale down, exhale, pull up. We could also add a little variation and use the floor as resistance. So I'm going to squat down, and then as I come up, I'm going to pull that right leg up, and I'm using the floor as resistance. I step and I drag, step and I drag. So it's going to wear your shoes out quite fast here. So I guess it depends on what sort of floor you've got. You might want to wear socks for this particular exercise. So hopefully, with that turn out there, working into the inner thighs. Yeah. So if we didn't turn out, we could go like that, but it's just kind of, it does work. Don't usually do it that way. All right, so sit back and drag. So that might be a little bit more comfortable for you. All right, brilliant. And then march it out. So I just want to, I'm going to just check on the music volume. Yeah. All right, I just want to draw to your attention that the week after next, I'm going to be looking at really functional movements using the door anchor. Yeah. So they're only a couple of pounds, and also flex a band actually that has a closed, that goes on forever. Yeah. So, and then I've just got them into the door. We've all got doors. They just go nicely into the door, and then I can work full range through the inner thigh. So I'm not going to do that, just showing you that I can work full range through that muscle. And I've got the straight leg there, which is much more functional. So what we've just been doing there is with a bent leg. So when we're coming up here, it's not the best way to work those inner thighs. All right, so then going on to a stretch. So standing stretch. I'm going to take the feet apart. Again, there's always ways to modify it. And if these don't suit you, just pop something in the comments and I'll see what modifications I can do for you. So we're going to lunge over to the right leg, and I'm going to pop my weight on that right thigh. I'm going to turn the left foot facing forward. And then I'm going to draw my left sit bone towards my right heel. So what I'm doing is I'm tilting my pelvis that way, and I'm pulling up through there. We want to have that back nice and straight. In neutral, and breathe. Yeah. So most of your weight is on your supporting leg. We don't want to overload the place where we're stretching. Yeah. So hopefully you feel that, and a gentle stretch out of 10, 5, 6 or 7 out of 10 if you're not used to doing it. Yeah. So then come back to the center, both toes turned out, both feet turned out, lunge into your left leg. Yeah. So lots of weight. We don't want to just hang there. And then I'm going to bring the right foot facing forward. I'm going to draw my right sit bones towards my left heel. So I've tilted the pelvis, so I can just get a nice little stretch on those inner thighs. All right, awesome. And then back to the center. Walk the feet in and march it through. Take a nice inhale. So very brief session there on inner thighs. So you need to think, are you working them? Are you strengthening them? Are you stretching them? Yeah. So if our inner thigh muscles are weak, then the outer thigh muscles will pull your leg out. You have imbalance at the hip joint there, and if they're tight, then they can affect the glute muscles, and you can start to have piriformis syndrome and pain in your buttocks because your inner thigh muscles are tight. Yeah, some people think it's because your piriformis is tight, but that's not really the way it is. Yeah, so as I mentioned, you can't spot reduce, and by doing these exercises, by strengthening the inner thigh muscles, we call them the adductor muscles as well, then you will be toning them up. Yes. And if you just start to reduce your body fat in general by exercising, more strength training burns more calories than aerobic activity. But the fitter you are with aerobic activity, the better you burn fat in the body. Yeah. So the whole spectrum of fitness is important to do if you want to lose that flab on your inner thighs. Yeah. And doing these exercises, functional exercises, as I mentioned, a lot of them, if you're just a lot of exercises we're squeezing the ball. So just have a look at the limited range of movement. So when you are having your leg in that position and you need to draw it in, you will then probably tear some muscle because it's not strong in that position. Does that make a sense? All right, guys, so I hope also that I'm educating you a little bit, because you can go to a class. As I say, most of the classes are just to have a great workout, feel good afterwards, and maybe a little bit achy the following day. But as we get older, we really need to think functionally, that is that exercise going to benefit me, and have I worked my muscles on a balanced way and on a regular basis. It's important because we can't store fitness, and we need to be doing strength training 2 to 3 times a week. Yeah. Okay. So I hope that was interesting for you. And so at the end of next week, we'll be putting all these exercises together. So next week will be mostly floor work, starting from tomorrow, doing similar exercises to what we did last week. But do look out for the door anchor. I do have them in my shop. I'll do a link below for the shop, and they're just a few pounds each. Yeah, they are not easily available because everybody's buying them and they're just selling out. And also I sell these bands. These are very friendly bands, and you can use them for so many things. I do recommend the 1 meter band, which is also on my website. Okay, but I'll be telling you more about that during the week, and I'll also be putting on some clips about the exercises, the type of exercises that we'll be doing. And we use that equipment particularly in my anchor point Pilates. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good day, and I will catch you later at 5:30 this afternoon, and we're looking at balance. All right, thanks. And stay positive, positive mindset. Get yourself outside. It's not brilliant today, it's cold, but just put your wellies on, put your scarf on, hat, and a few more clothes, and get yourself out there. And don't forget to really do some deep breathing.